Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amul's Academy. Today in this tutorial we are discussing about how to print stars in alphabetical A shape. So first we'll see what are the requirements, or we can say concept, used in our code. So this is our output and here we can see stars in different rows and columns. So to print stars in rows and columns we are using two for loops. And next we are using if-else statement, that is we are not printing stars in each row and each column, right? We need to print stars in particular pattern. For that we need conditions, so we are using if-else conditional statements. And in our program we are using logical and logical or operators. In the case of logical and, if both the inputs are true then only output is true, otherwise it is false. In the logical or, if both the inputs are false then only output is false, otherwise it is true. Okay, so this is about the concepts we needed to understand the code. So let's begin with the code. As I said, we need to print stars in the rows and column. So I'll take first for loop, for and row Here row is an variable and range is from 0 to 7. If we mention 7, that means it will take 0 to 7 and it will give output as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why 7 means, here in our output we can see there are 7 rows are there. So I took 7 here. If you want you can change the number. Okay, next. Inside this for loop, I'll take another for loop, that is for column. So variable name is col. Range is 5. It's because here in the output there are 5 columns are there. Here we can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I took 5 there. Okay. And here I'll take if condition. That is, as I said, we are not printing stars in each row and each column. We want to print the star in the alphabetical A shape. For that we need condition. So here we are using if-else conditional statement. So if, here I need to mention the condition. For that we'll observe the output and we'll see in which row and column stars are needed, and we'll write condition based on that. Okay. Okay, first we'll see the column part. Okay, so here we can see in the column 0 and column 4 we can see stars, that is this and this. So we want to print stars in the column 0 and column 4, but at that time row should not be 0. Here and here there is no star, right? So we need star when column equal to 0 and column equal to 4, but that time row should not be equal to 0. Okay, so I'll write like this. I'll check whether column is equal to 0 or column is equal to 4. Okay, whenever column equal to 0 or column equal to 4 we want star. So I'll group them, but at that time row should not be equal to 0, so I'll put them together. Here condition is when column equal to 0 or column equal to 4 we need a star, but at that time row should not be equal to 0. Here we want star here, but at that time row should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 0. So one part is done, that is column part is done now. Now we'll see the row, that is this. So here we can see when row equal to 0 and row equal to 3 we want star. So I'll take or, so I'll check row is equal to 0 or row is equal to 3. Okay, but at that time we need to see column should be greater than 0 and column should be less than 4, because these are already done, right? So now we are concentrating only on these 3 stars and these 3 stars. So at that time we need to see column should be greater than 0 and column should be less than 4. So here I'll mention and column should be greater than 0 and column should be less than 4. And I'll put this together. Okay, now we'll see the condition. Here first we are checking whether column is equal to 0 or column equal to 4. If either of this condition is true and row is not equal to 0, at that time we want star, right? Or we'll check another condition, that is we'll check whether row equal to 0 or row equal to 3. At that time column should be greater than 0 and less than 4. Okay, I hope you clear with this condition. I'll enter inside that if conditional statement and I'll print star. Now here I'll mention and equal to, that is here I want another star immediately after the one star. So here I mention empty string, and about this end string, if we go for help and print, and here we can see this is the syntax of print statement, and here we can see end is equal to /n, that is the string appended after the last value. So by default it will be /n. That means if we print any statement like hello, and I'll take another print here in the same line, and if I enter we can see hello and world in the 2 different lines, because here by default in the print statement end will be /n. That means control goes to the next line and it will execute the next print statement or other statement. If I want, then I can change this end string. So here if I mention and equal to empty string, then enter, here we can see no space, here we can see word immediately after hello. Instead of that, if you mention space here, and in the output you can see the space. Okay, this is about the end string in the print. Okay, so here I mention empty string because I don't want any new line or space. Okay, next here I'll go for the else part, and here I'll print space. For that I'll take end equal to space. Okay, that is here if this condition will not satisfy, then it will print space there. Here we can see the space, right? This is because of this print statement. So whenever the condition is not satisfied, else part will be executed and it will print space. And after that, so inside the first for loop I'll print, okay, this print statement for new line, that is after each row we want a new line, right? That is after printing star in one row we want a new line. That is here we can see once the execution of first row is completed, control goes to the next line, right? So here we used print statement for that. Okay, we are done with the code. So I'll execute this, I'll save this and run this, and here we can see the output. Next, if you want star here also, that is in the row 0 also, then you need to change the condition, that is you just need to remove this part. And now I'll save this and run this, and here we can see the output. Okay, this and this A are different, right? In the row 0 we can see column 0 and column 4 also contains star here. And here if you are confused with the end concept, then you can write this program in another way, that is by creating one string called str1, and it will be empty string initially. Next, instead of this print statement, I'll just mention str1 will be, I'll use concatenation symbol, and here this star. Okay, here also instead of else I'll use str1 will be str1 plus, here I need space, right? So space, and here instead of print statement I'll use str1 will be 1 plus new line. Okay, so after that I need to come out of that, and here next outside the for loop I need to mention print str1. Okay, now I'll save this and run this, and here we can see the output, right? This is the another way where we are taking one empty string and we are concatenating star and space and new line. Okay, this is about how to print stars in alphabetical A shape. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll meet you in next class. Till then, take care.